This is the Voice of Charleston Women Podcast, where you can meet like-minded, strong, independent, professional, and inspiring local women. Connect, learn, grow. Let's all support each other as we rise together. This is Voice of Charleston Women.
Hello, I'm Erin Kienzle. I am the host of the Voice of Charleston Women. And if you are struggling to lose weight, or if you have struggled to lose weight as we enter the new year, our next guest can help. She has been an expert in the weight loss industry for more than a decade. I'm so happy to introduce Dr. Meredith Womick from Metabolic Medical Center to talk to us today. How are you, Dr. Meredith?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, it is our pleasure, and this is such an important conversation that's going to affect everyone. Everyone wants to know how to be our best selves, and especially, I think, after a year of a pandemic, almost a year, 2020
yes,
wasn't the best.
I know.
A lot of people have put on a couple extra pounds, so you have a lot that you're going to tell us over the next 15 or 20 minutes, but let's just start with, what it is that you do. What do you do with Metabolic Medical Center?
Well, really, we want people to have a better and a healthier life is really our overall goal. And the one thing I like about Metabolic Medical is we put a lot of emphasis on behavioral change and why you may have poor nutrition habits. Is it a lack of knowledge? Is it just a little bit of boredom, some behavior things we can modify? So that's one of the things that I like a lot about Metabolic Medical Center and how we're different. So we try to take our plans and we try to customize it and help the person lead a better life and a more balanced life. It's not just a diet, basically.
It's not just a diet, it's a lifestyle. And before we get into more details, because I want you to give us some real good advice, tips as we try to, be better in this new year. But you yourself, you've been in the weight loss industry for 10 years. You've helped people. But you also kind of struggled. You said when you were going through medical school, you kind of had your own battle with, gaining some pounds here and there.
Yes, unfortunately, I am a stress eater, like a lot of people. So,
Sure.
So in medical school, what I kind of would do to offset that was I would do a lot of running. I was a runner. I would do half marathons. I would run in groups with my friends. Well, I hurt my knee, and then that made me made it a bit more difficult with the schedule. It made me become a stress eater. So I was turning my I had a great coping mechanism with the running. Well, it turned into something negative with the stress eating. So that was kind of my own struggle, and then I began to gain 10, 20 pounds that I was not used to because, I was rather thin, played sports in high school and even intramurals and things in college. So that's some things like that turned my journey more toward nutrition and how do I need to change? Why am I doing the things that I'm doing with my behavior?
Right. So I love that you've been through it. You gained those extra pounds. You saw what it did to you, how it made you feel not great. So how do you help people? What is the starting point when someone comes to you and says, I have 20 pounds, I have 30 pounds, whatever it is that I can't get rid of? Where do you begin?
Well, really, I begin by listening to the patient. That's one thing. What is it that is it a lack of knowledge? Some people they eat very healthy, but it may be a portion control thing. Some people, it may be, again, they're snacking, they're bored, they're having, they're eating their emotions. And some people, it's just a completely wrong diet. And when I mean that, it's somebody who's eating a wrong type of diet for their physiology. Mm-hmm. So number one, I listen to kind of what the patient tell them, find out where they are now and try to meet them there. And part of that is doing, of course, the medical part comes in there, doing the physical exam, doing blood work, taking a deeper look so we can really match the diet to their physiology and really to their lifestyle needs.
Right. So what I hear you saying, it's more kind of an all-encompassing approach. You said you do lab work, you talk to people, they have a counselor. And when you have like a holistic approach, if you will, is that how you're getting the results?
Yes, exactly. That's what we use to keep people motivated by listening to them to see what they're eating now and why they're eating it. We also want to learn why they're doing what they're doing, what and why they want to become healthy. And so we can use that when we get to know our patients. We can use that as a motivational factor to keep them motivated. When they feel like quitting, or we all have tough weeks or sometimes tough months, to say, hey, remember the why and let's get you back on track. We don't want to end up where you were before, or try to reframe in a positive manner.
Sure. Have you seen an increase in patients since COVID hit, since they feel like we're all home, we're stressing,
yes,
snacking?
Yes.
I am.
Yes. So we have, there's been a lot of people who've really struggled during the, COVID-19. And we kind of have a little joke saying it's the other COVID-19, like the freshman 15, it's the COVID-19. So,
right.
A lot of people, it's different things. It's stress. It's just kind of boredom. It's maybe a little bit too much at home baking with the kids. And then after they realize too many Zoom meetings and the elastic pants kind of thing. And once they get up to go somewhere, put their normal clothes on, they're like, oh my goodness, I've gained 10, 15 pounds. And then they'll call the office. They'll want to get in. And we also have had, interestingly enough, a little bit of increase for the month of December of seeing new patients, because people's holiday plans are not as robust. They're not doing the whole holiday parties this year because of the COVID-19. And I think people are trying to, in a way, it's a little bit of a silver lining. So people are taking this time that they may have off from work and trying to use that time to get healthy, to develop good habits. So
right. That's a good point.
Yes.
You have extra time. Why not? Don't wait until 2021.
Right. Don't wait until 2021.
Sure.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, and we only have so much time. I know you can talk for hours and hours, and it depends on each person's medical history. But when we talk about working out and eating, which is more important? Do you need to do both at the same time? Like when they say abs are made in the kitchen, is that true? What, if you have percentages, what advice do you have to offer?
Well, that's an excellent question. And I think that's, especially as Americans, that's a lot of what we get wrong. Our culture is very exercise friendly, but diet, not so much. It's really, I think they say 80-20, so 80% diet, 20% exercise, but really I believe it's almost 90% diet, 90 or 95% diet, and 5% exercise.
Wow.
Exercise is a great thing, but exercise, I tell my patients, is more of a weight maintenance tool. Think of it, and that's what the studies back up. It's great to do the exercise, but it's a big thing when we have our patients kind of change how they look at it. You're not able to out-exercise a bad diet. Mm-hmm. And sometimes exercise, although great, can get in the way. People believe, I just went out and walked the dog, and or went and walked 2 to 3 miles. That should make up. I can have dessert, or that's going to make up the calories. That I may have a few extra holiday cookies or this and that, or cause enough calorie deficit for you to lose weight. But in fact, it does not. It takes over 5,000 steps to be considered non-sedentary. Wow. So that's a lot, that's a lot. And most people do not get 5,000 steps a day. If people even walk the 1 to 2 miles a day, that you're just breaking out of that sedentary mode. So it's really, I like for my patients to think, 90 to 95% diet. So abs are truly made in the kitchen.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to Voice of Charleston Women podcast. For more about Charleston Women, pick up the latest edition of Charleston Women magazine at Harris Teeter and other area grocery stores, hair salons, and boutiques, or read us digitally at readcw.com.
So where can we start? Is it with a food journal? Is it with changing something about our breakfast? Is it not eating breakfast? I've heard that too. People are fasting right nowadays. Like, what do you recommend?
Well, there are a lot of, why it is so confusing is because weight loss does come down to it is calorie reduction in the very purest form.
Right.
It's just math. But there is better ways to do that, and there are terrible ways to do that, and there's the most correct for your physiology, for the health of your body. So I like for people to do a food journal, to just start to see what you really are eating. Sometimes when my patients come in, that's one of the first things that I kind of help them through. Tell me what your average day is. And, they start thinking, well, I went through Starbucks, and well, what did you have at Starbucks? I had a triple latte, whatever. And then, what else do you know? And they start to think, they say, oh, I don't really eat that much. I had a few granola bars. Those are huge culprits, things that people think they're healthy or not. So a lot of times a food journal is a great place to start, because oftentimes when I talk to people, they realize they don't remember by the end of the day what they've had at the beginning of the day, and why would you? So a food journal is a great way to see where those extra calories are coming from.
Most people are probably horrified to see how much they consume during the day.
Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes, and yep. And our food, too, you have to keep in mind, is very overprocessed. The portion sizes are 2-3 times triple what we really should be eating.
So that was my next question. You start with a food journal, and then are you asking people to eat whole foods, real food, shop?
Yes.
Section of the grocery store.
Exactly. Yes. We have a list, a food items list, where it's basically whole foods, exactly, non-processed foods. And people have different reactions when they go on the diet, but one of the common ones I get is, oh my goodness, I've never had so much food to eat. I have to explain to them, yes, because what you're eating is very, the calories, there's not a lot of calories in your food that you're eating. It's a lot of volume. Yeah. The veggies and fresh foods are a lot of volume for you to eat. They're not calorie dense like people are used to.
Right.
And we do offer some things because, one thing, if people are used to having a very processed, high-fat diet, when you start eating veggies and fresher foods, it does take a little time for your taste buds to adjust, and they will adjust. And so for those that, need a little help and need a little bit more convenience, we do offer meal replacements and meal replacement programs. Okay. But that's another thing. And when the patient comes in, we listen to them and see what they want.
Right. So what I hear you saying, you listen, everyone has individual needs, and then do you create a plan based on each person?
Exactly. Yes.
So you get your personalized plan. I do want to touch on, we talked about your struggle with weight when you were going through school and, gaining a few pounds because you were too busy studying, but you're an International Strong Fitness Women's magazine. Tell me more about that.
Yes.
Was that before med school or after med school?
That was after med school, but in residency, I got involved in doing a lot of fitness competitions, and doing the half marathons and things of that nature. And I met a lot of people in that industry. And through that, they were looking for someone to be an athlete and be featured. I think it was, I should have it 2017 or 2016, and be featured as a physician and things. And I did some exercises and demoed that in the magazine. So it was a really fun experience. It's a great magazine. They have lots of health and fitness tips. And I was able to fly to Canada and do the shoot. So yes, that was a great
cool. So if someone has lucky enough to work with you, you bring that knowledge to the table too, that you are an athlete and have worked with those. What would you say before we run out of time? Obviously people need to call Metabolic Medical Center. They need to go for the consultation and get that tailored plan. But what do most people do wrong? For those listening to this podcast right now, if we are going to start with one new step tomorrow, one change that's going to start us on our weight loss journey, what is that?
Ask for help. It doesn't have to be from Metabolic Medical Center, but ask a friend, hey, get some accountability. That's the one thing. And say, hey, I need to, let's make some healthy recipes together. Let's go for a walk. Don't wait until you're, 40, 50 pounds to lose. And it's really going to affect your health. If you feel like you're slipping out of control, or you feel like, hey, I just want to get healthier, don't put it off. Your health is the most important thing. So take one small step and either ask us to reach out for help or a family member or friend.
All right. And is it ever too late? If you have gained those 50?
No.
You can still make the change.
Definitely. Yes. Never too late to make a change.
Doctor, what's the best way to book a consultation to get a hold of you?
So I would say just go online and to our one of our local offices. We have offices in Mount Pleasant and West Ashley, and give our office a call, and we would be happy to schedule you. We also offer free consults, so you can speak to myself or one of our staff, and we'd love to help you.
And before we go, I totally forgot to mention that you are also the founder of the supplement line, Mom's Metabolic Naturals. You have to tell us.
Yes. So that actually was through all of my endeavors. I was also was looking for some natural ways to help women, and in particular my mother, with things like her glucose level and also lipids. Her lipids were, she had some dyslipidemia, and she could not tolerate any of the statins. So this was my way to look into help more natural ways to help with glucose control and other cholesterol control. And just ways to support a healthy diet. So that's why it's called Mom's Metabolic Naturals, because it was actually, I founded it to help my mom and to help other women. So
that's wonderful. Doctor, when do you sleep? You do so much, helping people.
Well, yes, thank you.
Fitness, helping your mom. You're very impressive.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you for your time today. For those listening, Dr. Meredith Womick at Metabolic Medical Center. Just go online, make that call, and book that consultation today. Thank you so much. I'm sure you've helped someone today.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for spending time with Voice of Charleston Women Podcast. Please like us and follow us on whatever platform you're using to access Voice of Charleston Women.